Hello, good morning. It is August 3rd. I am MJ and this is a general reading for the collective. And today I am using my Urban Crow Oracle. This is my deck that's published by Hay House. I've had quite a few people ask what is the difference between the Hay House edition and the indie edition of the deck. Well, I made a video and I go over the similarities as well as the differences so you can see how they are side by side. But the biggest difference is that the indie deck is sold out and it's no longer available. So that would be the biggest difference there. All right, let's get right to it and talk about the energy that's influencing us today. What's the energy behind our mood? How we relate to one another? What's the energy behind our perception of events? Okay. Ooh, today is a day for observation. So today you're not going to feel so inclined to jump in and overreact or, make a very quick decision. Today is going to be one of those days where you feel more inclined to sort of just lay low, watch other people, see what's going on, take it all in, analyze the situation, try to pick up some key bits of information before you make that big decision. Today is a day to observe how other people are reacting or how other people solve problems or how other people are addressing obstacles or not addressing obstacles. This is a day to observe, and you're going to feel that tug today. You're not going to feel so inclined to, say yes or no to anything, off the cuff or take a risk by any means. This is definitely not a day where you'll feel comfortable taking a risk. You're going to want to see and analyze and just take it all in, look for information that maybe you've missed in the past. This is a time to scan a situation completely. So let's see what opportunity is coming up. You might learn something today that, you've overlooked for a long time. Maybe you've been doing the same thing over and over and over. But today, because you're slowing down, because you're observing how things relate to one another or how somebody else is finding success in an area, you too might discover I can apply that. I can apply what I've learned from watching somebody else. Today will definitely not be an instant gratification kind of day. Or if you do, you will find that perhaps you would have been better off if you had waited. Okay, so the opportunity coming your way is, look, we have anticipation. So this is where something good is on the horizon, right? You're anticipating something. Okay, I will make a video that goes through each of these cards because anticipation is kind of an interesting energy that's going to come forward because it's going to bring with it this heightened sense of excitement, right? Something's coming. Something you can expect something to show up. Just like this crow here. This crow has been almost trained that at lunchtime, when the clock rings 12, the square is filled with people who are messy eaters and who leave crumbs and leave their lunches about, or in the garbage can where it can come out and pluck out that garbage pluck out the lunch from the garbage can. So it is grown to expect at noon every day, people will fill this square and it will eat. It's anticipating that. At 11:30, it's got his little crow watch on, and he's like, at 11:30, it gets positioned in the square. It's anticipating the rush of people. Now, I made this card because I thought about the birds downtown and with COVID, and all of a sudden the squares are empty. And now this crow was anticipating at lunch that the square would be full, but there aren't any people anymore. People aren't going down to the square anymore. So now this crow has a sense of sadness or confusion, disappointment that comes from when its expectations aren't met. So this is a very complex energy here with anticipation because we know something good. We have been trained to expect something good, right? We're anticipating a raise. We're anticipating a promotion. We're anticipating a sale on our favorite thing, right? We're expecting it. This is where the universe likes to, teach us little lessons, and we have to learn to not hold on to an attachment to what we expect. So you might find that here comes this opportunity for you to learn that lesson where you're waiting and you're waiting, you know, well, hey, in the past, this has always happened, right? You're anticipating it, but it may not play out the way you expect it to, or it may look a little different. It may not be exactly how you remembered it to be. So be aware when the situation shows up that the disappointment that you may feel is because of an attachment that you had to what you're expecting. So just be aware of how this may shake things up a bit, because you may feel inclined to just throw the baby out with the bathwater. And if something doesn't look exactly how you had expected it to look, you might discount it entirely, even though you would have perhaps liked what you had experienced, right? If you just let go of that attachment. So this might be a time here where you take that time before you jump to a conclusion. Observe, it might look different than what you're anticipating. It might feel a little different. It might taste a little different, or it might show up in a different way. Don't throw it away, right? Don't hold an attachment to what you expect it to be like and then give up on what it shows up as, because what it shows up as might be just as good, if not better in some ways for you. Or it just might be different, right? And you might have to let go of that again, let go of that attachment. So observation, lean into this energy today, because it's going to allow you to not just jump to a conclusion. It's going to allow you to truly observe the whole situation and maybe adjust those expectations accordingly. Okay, so let's see what we have here for the uninvited house guests. Distance. Okay, so here comes, it could be a person, it could be some other external energy coming your way that's going to force you to see your situation from a distance. It's going to remove you, right? Right now, you're so close to it, right? It's like your vision for what you're seeing is just too myopic. It's too centered in one area, and what you need to do is you need to kind of step back and see your situation as a whole, right? You're missing the opportunity here. The crow that can look across the landscape can see where there are future opportunities or where more opportunities present themselves. The crow that's isolating itself to one little neighborhood only sees the opportunities in those neighborhoods, or in that one neighborhood. It doesn't get a view of the entire landscape. And so you will, whether you like it or not, be forced to take a step back. And it might be that, your whatever it was that you were anticipating didn't come through the way you had expected it to. And so now you kind of have to remove yourself from the situation. If it might be a work thing, it might be a relationship. So I'm going to see who's coming in, or not who's coming in, but what the overall advice is, and maybe we can tie it all together. Okay. Again, though, with observation and distance, that is good. This is not a time to jump into anything. This is a time to look at that situation from a distance, see where there are opportunities perhaps that you've been missing out on. Oh, look at this. If you feel like you need to pick a battle with somebody, this is not going to be the day to do it. Again, this is a day to hold back. This is a day to watch. This is not a day to react. If you do jump into something today, you're going to find that there will be nobody has your back. They're all up here. They're all onlookers. They've got their little box of popcorn and they're going to just take in the show. They aren't going to support you. So be aware if you're picking a fight, if you're expecting something to look a certain way and it doesn't, and you get angry about it and you start picking a fight with somebody, it's not going to play out in your favor. In fact, you might actually lose support from those around you. Look at your situation from a distance. This is an opportunity in disguise.